But first, as October 22nd approaches, nightclubs are seeking guarantees that they'll be able to open at normal capacity. And yet yesterday, the Health Minister said the prospect of a return to tough new restrictions is not being ruled out for winter, with the legislation allowing for indoor hospitality restrictions to be retained as a safety net. Promoter Buzz O'Neill-Maxwell is eager for a clear answer as he counts down to 4 sold-out nights across the bank holiday weekend. He's with me in studio now, and we're joined on the line by Michael McNamara, Independent TD for Clare, and by Dr Dennis McCauley, GP in Donegal and Chair of the Irish Medical Organisation's GP Committee. Good morning and welcome to you all. Let's start with you, Buzz. I mean, what do you know for sure and what do you not know?
Neither and both. So, and that's what we're calling for. We're just asking for some clarity here. We're 16 days out. The announcement around October 22nd was made 6 weeks ago. So you would imagine that the framework of guidelines are sitting on some senior official in some department's desk. Are they going to share them with us? We have a situation where we have capacities, possible capacities, or it may not be October 22nd. This government love PR, they love spin, they love a big moment. The reality is that if they open nightclubs in this city with reduced capacity, or they propose to, and if those capacities are a lot less than is financially viable, a lot of us won't open. And their big weekend is going to be a big flop. We're asking for clear guidelines today. We wanted to know how many people we can allow into our spaces safely. When you look at the body language and the actual language used by Micheál Martin when he made this big announcement several weeks ago, they never have said definitely and 100%. They say maybe and hopefully. And then even as of yesterday, it's most restrictions will hopefully or possibly be lifted.
So they're still in the hopeful and possibly phase of their thinking, it would appear. In terms of capacity, though, what is the capacity of a nightclub? I mean, we've all been in nightclubs a long time since I've been a regular habitué of nightclubs, but, there are nightclubs which are jammed, and then there are nightclubs which are more comfortable. How is the capacity of a nightclub ever determined? I mean, is it by fire regulation or what?
Yes, absolutely. The capacity of every space that you go into, be it a bar, restaurant, hotel, is set out by the fire officer. And it's up to either you as a promoter or the venue management to enforce that. And the fire officer regularly spot checks your venues.
And does that fire officer check the numbers? Literally do a head count when they go in?
They do two things. A lot of places have clickers on the door, and door staff click the amount of people that come in, or that can be verified against tickets. We're in a great technological age now. All my club events, big club events, are pre-sold out. So people come up, scan their phone, or they scan their iWatch against a scanner, and so it tells you precisely how many people are in the venue at that time.
I mean, this should be nothing new because I remember years and years ago being in Stockholm and going into a nightclub and couldn't go in until people came out. That was the way in those days, which is decades ago, it worked. That the only way the queue outside would be reduced was by people emerging from that nightclub.
I mean, one of the things I suppose that's come about through this pandemic is finally, our government took us seriously as a business, but trying to get them to take us seriously as a business. I also have, apart from nightclubs, I'm also an event manager, and I work on a lot of big concerts and events. And when this government, when Barack Obama comes to town, or when the Pope comes to town, we're the industry that they come to help with that, because we run things very, very carefully and under a lot of extraordinary health and safety guidelines, and that's what we want to continue to do.
So what do you understand will be the health and safety guidelines? I mean, is it because this was being touted as our Freedom Day when all restrictions would go, that anyone can go to a nightclub, someone who hasn't been vaccinated, who's vaccine hesitant, someone who might be coughing and spluttering on the way in, that it's welcome all comers? Is that the understanding of October 22nd?
As of what they announced 6 weeks ago, yes. I also want to knock that whole Freedom Day nonsense on the head. It's not. We're just reopening. It's a reopening weekend. But the amount of people that you can safely have in your space. I do welcome one of the announcements recently from the government where grants were made available for venues to upgrade their ventilation systems and their ACs. And, and venues want to do that. We just want to get open. But we want to know under what circumstances we can open. There's absolutely no reason why the Taoiseach cannot make a statement this evening